So you can see I've got the site plan open just so I can do a walkthrough, starting with one that shows the building from the outside. And just get a couple of the main principles of creating a walkthrough or animation using Revit. So probably most people know that if you click on the little down arrow next to the house on the quick access toolbar, you can get to the walkthrough tool. But in case you haven't got that quick access toolbar, you can of course go to the view tab, click on the down arrow under 3D views, and then go to walkthrough there. I'll save it. So when you first go to create your walkthrough, it's probably, if anything, a little bit easier than making even a camera view, because you only need to click the camera position. So I'm going to click, let's start with one looking in the direction of this tower. So I'll start over on the road here, but I just want to make sure I'm not inside this car, so I'm just going to go a little bit above that, and a little distance from the building so I can see a large area. And what I'm going to do now, instead of trying to walk straight towards the building, is I'm going to click some points that where I want to walk. So that's the first thing when you're creating your walkthroughs. Think about where you're walking. Don't worry too much about where you want to be looking, because by default it just looks straight ahead in the direction you're walking. You can change that afterwards. So here I'm just walking along the road, click, 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 and now I might want to come around and look from the left-hand side, and I'll again end up looking towards the building. So I've got some trees here. I'm just going to try to walk maybe in between those. It's good to, you can avoid any objects, and just have my last point there so it does finish at least there, looking towards maybe these entry stairs. So I'm going to then tick the finish walkthrough button at the top, and now you can see my walkthrough part, and you can see at the end there it's got the field of view showing. So that's this triangle which shows the cone of vision essentially, which is the same as you have with a camera view. And you can adjust that too to change your field of view or your focal length. So I've selected my walkthrough, and I can click edit walkthrough then to open it. But if you lose that option, if you clicked and you deselected your walkthrough, you won't be able to just select it again. But you can always find it in the project browser. As soon as you make a walkthrough, it'll make a new category called walkthroughs, and you'll find it there. So I've made a couple previously, but my last one will be walkthrough 3. I'll double click there, and you can see there that's showing the last frame of my walkthrough, which actually isn't too bad. But now I want to go back to the first frame. I'm going to select the border, and then you can see now I get that option again to edit the walkthrough. So when I click edit walkthrough, then you get the playback controls. It's just like the play buttons you used to get on tape decks, I suppose, on video players. I'm sure you've all seen those before. You've got there the play button grayed out because, again, we're at the last frame, and you can see here it tells us that. Here it's on frame 300 of 300. Clicking there though, now I've lost the walkthrough options, but I can always go back to edit walkthrough, and then I get my playback controls. So if I just go back one frame, here clicking previous frames, now all those other buttons come up. So I don't want to go back to just the previous frame, I want to go back to the previous keyframe. Now keyframes are a really common term, or a term you should know in animation. It's actually from more general animation, and it's from the days when they had people hand drawing animation, and you'd have the senior animator just drawing the keyframes. So every maybe 30 or 60 or 100 frames, they draw their cartoon character, and then they have the junior animators do all the frames in between. So the keyframe is every so often, and there is a default in Revit. I think it's every 60 frames or something like that. And here it'll show you actually, if I click on this button here, that says 300 frames, which is the default. It should always start with that. And we can see then the keyframes. Well, they're not every 60, it's every 43.2 for some reason. So they're the keyframes. So now back at the beginning, I can then again go back to the Edit Walkthrough tab and click play, and it's going to play the animation through in real time. So in other words, as fast as this computer can play it with the hardware in your usually a graphics card. So this is where, if you've ever wondered why you spend a lot of money on those 3D graphics cards, this is where that comes into it. And so I'm looking at spending about $1,000 on a graphics card at the moment, just for this. Everything else really won't be affected, but this real-time 3D needs good graphics. So in a hidden line view, it's not too bad, but if I go to realistic, I think it's going to take a minute even to regen that. And then if I click play, it's going a bit slower. And here you can see it's freezing up a bit. It'll get there, but again, much slower than in hidden line because that's more demanding graphically. So I don't want to wait for that to finish. It's going to take too long. I'm going to press escape, and it should, before too long, give me a message. It doesn't seem to recognize it, so I'm going to click the cancel button down in the bottom left corner. It should wake up eventually, but again, it's trying its best to play it, so I'll give it a minute. There we go. Okay, so eventually it should give you this message saying that it's interrupted and you want to stop, and yes, and that's fine. So I'm going to go back to hidden line, but also now you can see obviously that there are some issues with this animation. Firstly, it's stopping, and these things are fading in from nothing because the view isn't deep enough. So it's cropped in the distance, we'll fix that. And also it's not looking in a very good direction. You can't see the building until the very end, so you want to change the direction of the camera. So both of those things can be fixed in plan view usually. So I'll go back now to my ground floor plan, or even, sorry, the site plan is probably better. This will do. Okay, now again, I can see my animation path because I kept it selected, but if you have deselected it, you can always go again into the project browser and just like a camera, right click on the walkthrough name that you want and then choose show camera, and that's going to show you the path. So now, unlike a camera though, to edit that, I've got to choose edit walkthrough, and then you can see I've got the control points coming up along the path, and then also it's got you can see the camera, so I could drag that, and then also, sorry, before I change the option, the depth of view. So here, obviously, the camera's on this end, and then at the end of the cone there, we've got that open circle, which gives the depth. So I'm just going to drag that all the way. And I mean, I've modeled all this in 3D, so I want to see that. I'm going to take it all the way to the end. So now, before I do the next thing, actually, I might go back to open that. And I can do that easily from this view by going to the Edit Walkthrough tab. And then this time, we've got the option to open Walkthrough. Just take some strap back to it, and there we are. So I've got all those things. Still, you can see the building already, but I'll be playing it. You can see mainly that it's at least seeing everything into the distance. So I'll happy with that. I'll cancel that. Back to the plan view. So we want the site plan on there. So with the again edit walkthrough option first, I'm going to go now to the options that you have on the what's it called, the options bar, that green bar. If you don't know, that's what it's called. So it's on active camera, and you can change that to path. They're probably the two main options you need to know. You can, it's good to maybe just point out the others quickly. Add keyframe and remove keyframe, they can be useful as well. So you can't work individually on each frame, but these points that I've clicked, they're the keyframes. So I can go remove keyframe and then take out one of those easily, or add keyframe and put one back. Then to move those points, you need to be on the path option. Then you can click and drag to move an individual point on the path. But I'm going to go back to the first option then, active camera, and you can see then we've got the camera showing at the beginning of the path, and then next to that is the target. So that target control, I can now drag to control the direction the camera's looking. So maybe right there, that'll be, yep, that should be good. So that's just at that keyframe. Now I've got to go to the next keyframe, not the next frame, the next keyframe. So that should be the next red dot. And now the camera's gone back to the starting position. So I've got to drag it around. So what I'm going to do now is just go to show you what that's done. I'm going to go back to the first keyframe, and I'm going to click play in this view. So you can see there how the target position is averaged out between those two keyframes. And now, as we go to the next one, it's going to slowly go back flat. So I'll press escape, stop that. So I'll go to my next keyframe, and then again, and now bring the target around for that. Next keyframe again, drag the target, and just keep going like that. Right, so if you just leave it on the default direction looking straight ahead, you've got very limited options when you're creating your walkthrough, but once you can control the target, it opens up all sorts of possibilities. I'll show you if you've maybe thought about doing orbits or spins. So an orbit is when you're orbiting around a building, spinning is when you're standing still and looking, turning the camera in different directions. You can do all those things just with that option to change your target. So I'll again, next keyframe, and the last one wasn't so bad, but in this view it's hard for me to see it, so I'll just change my view again to, oh sorry, not that one, site plan, there we are. So that's better, and I can now walk through, and next keyframe, oh there we go, at the end, and well actually I don't mind the way it finishes, so that's okay, I'll leave that. So now again, to test it, open walkthrough, and I'll go back to the beginning. And then play. So maybe it's okay, but it's turning a little bit quickly at the beginning, so I can go back and change the target easily now. Yeah, that end it's okay. You can see it looks very close, but that's the field of view, so I'll change that too in a moment. And here, yeah, okay, so a bit wonky, I do want to bring that down more. So it's very hard to tell just by looking at the path. You do have to keep playing back your animation to really get a good idea of the motion. And so here again, if I just go between those two keyframes, I can maybe see there where the problem is. So I think it's probably here where I might bring that this way. Again, just got to, yeah, that's better. Yeah, much better. Okay, so now I'll just fix the end. So let's just skip all the way to the last keyframe where I think I need to bring that target around a bit more. A bit unnatural otherwise, and then go back to the previous one where I think it's also going to come out. There. And you can tell as well in plan, often what you're trying to avoid is that side-to-side thing. So you want to keep it going in one direction smoothly, or the other way, again, going in the same way smoothly. So, and a common mistake is trying to replicate human movement or human vision, because humans look at things, or all things that can see, look at things in a very different way to the way cameras are used, because you're looking all the way in different directions and your eyes are moving independently, and if you actually observe it, you're either going all over the place. Cameras, on the other hand, and cinematography is the field that has developed over the last 150 years, I suppose, where they've developed all these amazing techniques and ways of using cameras to show things in a nice way. And so if you start just watching in film and TV the way the cameras move, and I really look a lot at that, and if you're interested in some directors who do it in a way, Robert Altman is famous for having really long shots that still work. Most people can't do it. It's actually a painful thing to watch normally if you have shots that are, in other words, a single shot without an edit or another shot. It's very difficult to have them more than 10 or 20 seconds even without it feeling unnatural. And he could get 15 minutes in a single shot, and most people wouldn't even notice if you know any Robert Altman movies, like Shortcuts is a famous one, and The Player, that's another one you might have seen. And one thing, I think you get to see them, they were big movies a while ago, 20, 30 years ago, I suppose, but things like yesterday for me. And so The Player has a 10-minute, I think, intro shot, and Shortcuts is about 15 minutes without an edit. So, and that was the world record for a long time. Film canisters were only that long. But then there was a Russian movie that was 3 hours or something, all in one shot, when digital first came along. And it's a pretty famous movie. So it's in the museum in St. Petersburg, the big famous. Sorry? The Hermitage, yeah, exactly, yeah, that's it. So yeah, so have a look at that if you're interested. I think it's a bit hard to watch. I couldn't get through it all, but it's still, I mean, to get it all in one shot, that's an incredible thing, I think. So anyhow, that's okay. I'm going to open this again now and just play it one last time. I mean, it could definitely be better, but really that would be more than enough if you can get an animation like that. And but sorry, there's one last thing I want to do before I export it, and that is to do the field of view. Now, you've got to be careful with field of view. If it's a camera, a still camera, you can push it further, but with animation, just don't try to push it too far because it looks unnatural. Our eyes, what is it? Don't you know the lens in our eyes? Roughly what it is. So if you've done your photography, do you know any common lens sizes then? 35 mil, or yeah, 50. That's good, yeah. And our eyes are pretty close to 50. That's actually why they changed. The old standard used to be 35 mil, and now it's actually 50 because our eyes are like 47 point something roughly. For architectural photography though, they use really small lenses quite often, especially for interiors. They go down to 20 mil, and that's how you get those big wide angle shots. But if you do that with animation, it just looks really weird, and because your eyes are so much, they give you so much narrower field of view. So just be aware of that. Otherwise, though, you can definitely make it bigger than it starts. The default is a bit too narrow. So I'll bring it up and try and get, I'll try and get the whole building. So this is, I'm breaking my own rules because I'm going to take it beyond what it probably should be. But it's a tall building and I need to get that in. Undo. Okay, so now, and that field of view is going to stay the same, of course, throughout the whole animation. So if I play this through now, there we go. Definitely could be better, but if you spend more time on it, you can probably easily fix or improve on what I've done there. So you're definitely coming out a bit too far there. You try to go back in, but again, that might do for now. So that's the first step. We've got the animation set up in Revit, and of course, save the files as you go because this often will make your computer or the program crash. So now I want to export that to an animation file because what we're seeing there is again just the real-time 3D display. It's not the speed of the animation. So before I export it, I'm going to have a look at the speed. Going to edit walkthrough. You've got the frame counting. This is telling us it's frame 1 of 300. If I click on that button that says 300, it tells me the total frames are 300. And so the default frame rate is 15 frames a second. So I was telling you before that the standard now is 30 frames a second. So if I change this to 30 without changing anything else, that means it'll be 10-second animation instead of 20. I'll click apply. So that means it will be twice as fast, but better quality. So I'll play that and you'll see that we know it's 30 frames a second, but it's not playing any faster because it was already playing as fast as the hardware could make it go. So how do I see that in the real speed? Well, we need to export it. So now we go to the main menu, export, images and animation, and then walkthrough. So now you've got all the visual styles that you have in a view. And the other interesting thing is, remember what I showed you earlier about customizing the graphics. And you can even turn lights on in a realistic view and all those different exposure. You can actually get pretty good real-time graphics without rendering. And that will come up in your animation. And that's why Revit's not bad for making animations, because you've got all these options basically from wireframe all the way down to realistic with edges. So they're all real-time. In other words, it doesn't have to render those. The one at the bottom, though, rendering, what I'd recommend, in fact, definitely, not even recommend, this is just something you have to do, is never use that. Don't even try it. It will never work. Also, actually, no, I should say, because ART, the new rendering engine, you might get something out of it, because ART is a lot faster than Midrise. But, just think about how long would an animation, how long would a render take, a still render, at high quality? How long do you think? 10 minutes, if you're lucky? Or are you getting them done faster than that? Have you tried any rendering? No? Yeah. Oh yeah, on the cloud. So the cloud, but even the cloud would struggle to do a simple perspective in 10 minutes, if you're lucky. So in the local ART, like the local rendering engine, again, if you can get it in 10 minutes, you're doing really well. I'd be expecting a building like this on high quality to take an hour just on high, and on best it maybe even 2 or 3 hours with with all the modeling and everything I normally have. That's for one frame, for one perspective. Here we've got 300 frames, so might not seem like a lot until you do the calculation, which I'll just come on, calculator. There we go. Okay, so 300 frames times 10 minutes, if you're lucky. It's never going to happen, but let's pretend we can get it to 10 minutes. That's 3,000 minutes. Again, doesn't sound like that much until you divide it by 60. That's 50 hours. Divide that by 24. So that's 2 and a bit days, obviously. And so that's for a 10-second animation with 10-minute rendered frames. So it's probably not even going to be that good quality. So that can give you an idea how long it takes to render animation. And so the animation that I've shown you before, where I've had rendered animation, that's taken me weeks to render. Each of those shots will usually take about a week, and the shots are about 15 seconds. And if you know anything about like Pixar and those companies that do this, they have render farms that just do rendering of animation, and it takes them months and months just to render individual shots that are their own a whole movie. So you've got to be prepared for that. But again, just avoid it with Revit. Don't use rendering. So I just wanted to tell you that so it's clear why you don't use rendering very much with Revit. But the other options are all good. So I'll go to realistic with edges, and then the other settings I might just leave to get it done. And then here you've got the options for the file types. As far as I know, you can still only do AVIs with Revit. So that's exporting directly to an animation format. Do you know any other animation formats? Exactly. Okay. Yeah, quite on. So they're the other ones you should know. APIs are still pretty popular, but MPEG are better. It's a shame though Revit doesn't export to MPEG. Later though, we can maybe look at the other options because it is useful to export to individual frames sometimes, and that's normally what you should do. But to begin with, just do it to API. So I'm going to click Save now. So it starts, and we should get it done in time. So what you're going to see now is that it's going to try playing it back. Well, it's going to go through almost in real time. Oh, sorry, there's one more option. Here we go, that's with the realistic, so that's good. And then finally, you've got this option for video compression. So if you know about video formats, you know how important that is. And what I'd recommend is that you start with this one, Microsoft Video 1. That's an easy, it's a pretty reliable compressor. And always avoid uncompressed. With Revit, don't ever use full frames, just do uncompressed. And also, we don't ever do uncompressed. So Microsoft Video 1, though, it should be there as an option most times. And that's it, okay? And so now it'll be almost real time. It won't be quite as fast as the playback that I just showed you, but it's still a whole lot faster than the render. So instead of 10 minutes a frame, it's probably going to be about a second a frame once it starts, and that'll be in a moment, fingers crossed. What I'm looking at so that I know, it's this part down here where it's showing me the percentage done, and that should start ticking up in a minute. Should go a bit faster than this actually, but at least you can see that it's done a frame. If this was rendering, we'd be, well, by 8:30 we might have done one frame. I'd say the way it's going by 8:30, oh no, here we go, it's going a bit faster, so we should get all 300 frames done. So again, 300 frames at 30 frames a second. So we'll think about how long it would take you to walk along that distance. A lot longer than 10 seconds if you're doing well. I think when I was 15, I could run 100 meters in 15 seconds or something, and that's more than a lot more than 100 meters. Well, no, it's not. It's probably about 100 meters. So realistically, you'd be looking at what, 20 seconds, 30 seconds for that length of animation. So this should be fairly fast. So, while that's happening, so the other thing to think about is breaking up your shots. And so rather than trying to do a walkthrough that shows everything, they often call it, wandering through the rabbit warren, where you're going through the maze here, there, and everywhere. And that's what a lot of early computer animations look like, and actually made people a bit sick because of that. Instead of trying to show people everything in one walkthrough, break it up and do lots of short walkthroughs. You can easily string those together, just like they do in film and TV. And so again, have a look at the way they use shots, and you'll be probably surprised if you never really paid attention to it, how short the shots are in film and TV production. I do it all the time. I just count, and I almost never get to 10. It's usually like 4 or 5 seconds, especially if there's dialogue. And it doesn't feel unnatural to switch. You don't even need fades or anything. You can switch quickly to another shot. And then the other technique, which, well, we won't get to tonight, we'll probably have to look at next week, is putting stills in between motion footage. So, in fact, while this is playing, I can show you some of my students at Enmore have done. And by that time, this should be finished. Oh yeah, that's right. No, it's just, okay. So yes, I know that one. So not Jason. Well, I've shown you. I've shown you mine as well. That have the same things, but have I shown you Jason? Enmore and design, who got all sorts of awards last year. He got the New South Wales Design of the Year, and did really well in the Australasian division as well. So he was one of the graduates from Enmore. And here in, oh no, that's 2016 here. So I'll show you his, which uses all these techniques. Oh, here, I just saw it. Oh, panned. Okay, sorry. I'll show you Yana's as well, because hers is great. But here we go, here's Jason's. So it's all Revit with the sorts of animation I've been talking about. So this is just with the graphics from Revit. So not rendered, of course, but still gives a good impression of the space and 3D aspects. The lens flares were added afterwards. Don't worry about the lens flares. Yeah. But you can sit down with Movie Maker or After Effects or something. So just in video editing programs can do that. So it's the silos in White Bay. Oh, that's not his full video, so this must be the full one. Here we go. This is. So sorry to Jason if he's listening, if he does watch my video still. I know he's copyrighted this, but I'll show you for you to watch it. So again, it's those silos in next to the what's the big Anzac Bridge? But yeah, you know, going into Victoria Road, over in not not Roselle. Yeah, I think it's actually Roselle, isn't it? Yeah, next to Balmain, but yeah, it's part of Roselle. So again, this is all Revit, but that's rendered, but it's a still render, a big long still render that is just then split across. Again, just use, you had to use another program for that, but again, just shows you how you can incorporate these really nice rendered images with the real-time 3D walkthroughs from Revit. But doesn't hurt to have a nice design. And Jason was a great designer and had a lot of good design features like Jane was brilliant with this one. And so again, that's just still out of Revit. But again, here back to the real-time walkthroughs with here we go. So the stills rendering high quality from the cloud of the same space. It's really important to have, if you're going to use a lot of these real-time walkthroughs, to make sure that people know that the materials and the lighting are the way they are, or they're intended to be, not just what you see in these real-time walkthroughs. Yeah, what the letters, and there's a lot of clever stuff in there. Yeah. So that was Jane, I think, came up with that. But Jason was great, though. He was really talented. Yeah, and that form, the way that using the way the cylinders join together as a detail, just really clever. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just click on the Revit. It's probably still going. Yeah. Oh yes. Sorry, I meant to give those to you. So I'll give those. I thought I did put them on last week, but I'll just. Oh yeah, I'll just show you those now. So yeah, that's important for interiors. So the Revit families, and then in the lighting fixtures folder here, then the ones I made are called square unhosted downlight, and round unhosted spotlight, and standalone bulb linear. So sorry about the names, but I just wanted to make it clear that they don't need to be hosted. So they can float anywhere, but they look like ceiling. and you should be able to modify them to make almost any kind of light you'd ever need. So you're welcome to grab those. Yeah. So the round unhosted spotlight, that I'll show you the thumbnails actually. That should give you a pretty good idea what they look like. So the square unhosted downlight, it's a square that has a square shaped light that just points down, or the light goes downwards only. So it's not directional, except that it goes down, it doesn't go up at all. But that gives you lots of options. That's really useful light. And then this other one, round unhosted spotlight. This is actually the part of it. So that's what it looks like, except that it's got the housing as well. And so that's a spotlight, and you can tilt that any direction. It's got a parameter, so you can adjust the angle. And it's spot, so it has a cone of light that you can point in direction, and you can control the field angle and the beam angle. In other words, the bright spot and then the point where the light reaches zero, you can control all that. So those two lights, they're two common setups that you often will want. And so then you can modify those and make almost any pendant light you need. This one, you can easily turn it into, say, the fluoros here, just by changing the shape of it, because they behave in the same way. They both light down and they're not directional. And then the last one, standalone bulb linear, that's good for recessed lighting, because it is just like a fluorescent tube that floats, and you can move that anywhere. So that's really good for any recessed lighting. But since Revit is still chugging along, I can't show you the option, but I'll show you next time. If you don't know, when you try to render, if any of you tried to render a linear light and found that it actually works more like a spotlight, it looks like it's coming from a point. Well, yeah, try it and you'll see that a lot of the lights, in fact, all of the lights that are linear, if you just render with the default settings, it's been a long-standing problem with, well, not a problem, but it's a known issue with Revit, that they render with a single point light source, even though the light is defined as a line. So it's a render setting. So if you're using mental ray, you've got to go in and enable, it's a funny setting, it's soft shadows, believe it or not. Soft shadows makes it go do true lighting, I suppose. But with ART, it's a bit more straightforward. I think it's just called advanced lighting. If you go into the custom settings, and there's an option. Yeah, so if you bring it up there, if you've got your rendered teapot, then you'll see it straight away. Yeah, okay, so there, see how up the top, you've got the quality setting, and it's on whatever it is, best or high. Go down to the bottom, custom, and then also go to, so edit, I mean. So just click on that same thing, and then go to edit, I think it is, and then copy to custom. Oh yeah, that's it. That's fine. You don't need to do that. So that's it. If it's grayed out, it's okay. And then see how it's got the middle. It's got simple and then advanced. That's right. Yeah. So that's it. Do that, and then the linear lights will work as linear. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's that option. Yeah. Makes a big difference. Now, don't just turn it on every time, because it will go much slower. No, you can't render animation on the cloud, unfortunately, and they will never give you that option. Yeah. Oh no, so that rendering, sorry, no, that's different. Sorry, yeah, no, sorry. That option, let me think. I think with the cloud, it would be on advanced anyway, but it wouldn't hurt to turn it on, because it does look at your render settings when you send it to the cloud. So yeah, oh yeah. So say if you need certain lighting, if you need, say, interior artificial only. It uses the settings that you've got in your render dollar box when you send it to the cloud. It has to get that setting from your render settings. So yeah, and it's a bit confusing because it is a different engine, but it gets the settings from there anyway. So no, that's right. Because, yeah, that's exactly right. Because it is a different engine. So that's right. Yeah. Things like exposure. That's yeah. But I mean, it does. I think it gets the starting exposure value, but exposure works differently in ART to the cloud. So yeah, it's got to be different at some point. But yeah, I mean, look, the cloud at least a lot of it's automatic as well. So as long as you get, just put the settings into there that you think make sense, and then if it doesn't make a difference to the cloud, it doesn't matter anyway. So it's always interesting when you're using those cloud rendering services because you don't have as much direct control over all those things. But you can see here, I mean, I'll wait for this to finish, but you don't have to wait if you don't want to. You can see there it's only on, 16%. And that might seem slow, but it's still a lot faster than if you were rendering. If you're rendering, we'd be on, if you're lucky, frame 2. And you can't tell it's cut it off, but it would be on, 16% 300. And I'm thinking for that 48. So okay, so 48 frames out of 300 have been done, and it'll get there in the end. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's going into the ground, so you need to lift it up. So you can go into the elevation views. Yeah. And then right click on bring up the walkthrough, and then just make sure you're on path. Yep. And then you can drag the points up to change the elevation. Yeah, that's good actually, because you need to do that quite often. Yeah. So I don't know if I will wait for this actually now I think about it, but I'll show you instead some animation that I've done using the same technique previously. I've got plenty of these. Well, not plenty. I've got a few. I usually delete most of them, but okay. So here's some that I did for that hub project that I showed you before. So that's hidden line. Hidden line can actually be okay, but you're going to get more aliasing. And aliasing is the jaggy lines, basically. Moya effects. Moya. I can never say that, but there's a word for it. I think it's Moya. I get that wrong. So that's hidden line. Then this is, I think, a shaded one. And this I think's in, oh no, that's a lower res. So we'll have to look at resolution next week as well, I think. But if you just leave it on the default resolution first, that should be okay. And so here's some more. Oh, this is one from another project where that is rendered. And that shows that one, you can see it's struggling to play it back. And that took, this was just a test. I think it took about 5 days to render. This is a few years ago. But yeah, that was a test for a project in Newtown. So it's just struggling to play it back because I'm doing things in the background as well. Get some others. And here's some others. Yeah. So here's one though where it's going up instead of just going across. So that can be a good idea too. Yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah. You can't draw the walkthrough section, but you can make it in plan and then go into your section to adjust the path and just drag the points up. So as long as when you select the camera, you'll see that option where you can change it from active camera to path, and then you can move the points in a section view and lift them up. But I'll go through that again next week, maybe. It can be a little bit fiddly. So we've closed the window, unfortunately. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but it won't be mostly animation. It'll be mostly stills. But it just needs to include some animation. Yeah. And look, so at this stage, because you haven't been taught any compositing or video editing programs, you won't be expected to put it together in one file and have it play automatically. You'll see, look, it's not that hard to learn. I had to learn that by myself when I started doing assignments for subjects where they just tell you you've got to give them a video format, and that's quite common at uni. I'll say you have to give a complete video presentation with all of this stuff put together in one video file. So that's quite common, and you can pick it up pretty easily. If you're lucky enough to have a Mac, iMovie is free with a Mac. But if you don't have a Mac, Movie Maker's it's not as good as iMovie, but it's still pretty good. So Movie Maker's the Windows one, it's free. And there's a Silverlight. The Silverlight version of Movie Maker I think it's almost up there with iMovie actually, because it's got all these nice automatic things. It'll put credits in, and yeah, I'm just talking about movie making programs. So I mean, Movie Maker. If you can use Word, you can use Movie Maker. It's that easy. It's great actually, um, especially the Silverlight version. Oh yeah, if you want to do the high end stuff, yeah, Adobe Premiere is almost the top of the line. There's Final Cut's maybe slightly ahead, but Premiere is brilliant. I mean, they use it for almost every movie now because Apple are killing off their video editing stuff. But you don't need to do Premiere. If you know Premiere, do it. But no, otherwise Movie Maker would be more than enough. I'm not even expecting that. So the most I would expect is that you put it together in PowerPoint. You can insert animation into PowerPoint, and then you can play it all back with your still slides, and that will make it easier for you. But that's not even a requirement. All you need, like I said, is animation to go with your stills. So if you have all of your plans, sections, elevations, and render perspectives in a PDF file, you can easily open the PDF file and show that to us as you talk about it, and then just play your animation file separately, and that will be absolutely fine. So that's all it's tricky. And then we'll go further with it though. So when you do the real one next semester though, then you'll have to put it all together. But PowerPoint is the minimum for that. So should be great. But thanks a lot for you. Thank you. And it's still going, so I won't bore you with making you watch all of this. But I just wish I could remember how to pause a Camtasia recording. Unfortunately, I don't, so I have to stop that, and I'll show you the animation next time.